Minecraft. It's one of the most popular games on record. Since it was released in 2009, it sold more than 120 million copies. In 2014, Microsoft paid £1.8 billion for Mojang, Minecraft's Swedish creator, based here in Stockholm. And later this year, the developers will launch Better Together, a new version of Minecraft that's raised some questions. With a major update on the way, allowing fans to play on a number of different devices like the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch, are the team here worried about children's safety?
We're always working to do more because online safety is so important to us. So we actually have tools and parental controls in place for parents to take an active look at who their kids are playing with.
But the onus is still very much on parents and adults to change the settings, which isn't always straightforward.
If someone is really bothering you, you shouldn't play with them. And if you're on a realm, that means you can unwhitelist them. If you are on other services, there are also other ways that you can block players.
Like many games on the market, Minecraft is becoming more social. Players can access different servers to share their builds, sometimes with strangers. Disabling chat mode to block all communication is just one way to deal with that problem. And what about the amount of time children are spending playing the game?
You could definitely put a limit and a number on it, but I think that number would be different for different people.
Ricky Belletto, BBC News.
Oh, we're joined now by Joe Garrett, also known as Stampy Cat, whose Minecraft YouTube videos are viewed by millions around the world. There's a lot of people very excited that you're with us on the sofa this morning, Stampy. So very much, I'm going to call you Joe there. Is that all right?
Yeah,
excellent.
I'm going to call him Stampy, but anyway, you can.
Okay, right.
Just to keep everyone nicely confused.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you go Stampy, I'll go Stampy too. What is it? Let's start with sort of the Minecraft phenomenon. What is it that makes this so popular?
I think the reason it's become so popular is, I think, something that people don't talk about too much is the social side of it. I think the community that's built around the game has just elevated it so high. And the fact that it's not a case of you going home and just playing a game by yourself. You're going home, you're going online and you're playing with your mates and you're kind of just hanging out and doing whatever you want in a virtual world. People are just literally just playing normal games like hide and seek and stuff inside of a game. And you don't get that in many other games.
So the changes to it mean that you'll be able to play on different devices. How significant are the changes and what difference will it make?
So the differences are quite significant. So basically, what they're doing essentially is bringing the Pocket Edition, which is the version which is on mobile devices. There's a version of that on Windows 10 now, and they're bringing that version to both Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. And that is essentially the same version, so they can all play together. Because at the moment, there's loads of different versions of Minecraft on different consoles and different platforms, and they're all similar, but they're all slightly different. This is kind of the first step to having just one version of Minecraft. They can all play together. It's the same game, no matter what you're playing on.
Loads of questions coming in for you on this and generally on these sort of changes. Leopard says, I'm worried, Stampy, that young children will have to see words or phrases they shouldn't when these changes come into force. How can they stop Mojang from doing that?
So one of the big differences with this new version, which is coming to consoles, is the old version, when you're playing online, you either can only play with people that you're already friends with, they're on your friends list on the console, or you play basically mini games online where you just kind of play a game and you're just simply playing it, there's no communication. This new version has servers on it. And I say new version, it's kind of the mobile version, which is out already. So this version has servers so you can kind of chat to people online. There are, you can turn that chat completely off. There are settings you can do, on the consoles where you could restrict playing online completely or, restricting all online communication. But kind of as it is by default, you can communicate to just whoever you want on the servers.
And therein lies some of the problems, at least from sort of parental point of view, that children might be talking to other people that they don't know, adults, for example. Can you see those concerns?
Yeah, definitely. And I've, from playing on servers myself, I've seen, situations which, I know shouldn't be going on. And, there are moderators on the servers, they can ban certain words, but, people can always get around those things. The game is just so big and so open, it's kind of almost impossible to police at this point.
What do you do? I mean, I'm a parent and my children have played this game. Do you think that parents are sort of uneducated about it? And how would we know what's going on? Do we need to be playing the game, or what would you recommend?
I wouldn't say all parents. I mean, I know a lot of parents that, play Minecraft with their kids, and, some A lot of parents, I think, are kind of a little bit scared because, you know, it seems quite a daunting thing to get into play, like just to be able to kind of move around to control the game. So a lot of parents are kind of scared, but I'm always trying to encourage parents to play with their children.
And then they'd see, they'd get much more, they'd see what was going on and perhaps more of the dangers, would they?
Yeah, they'll definitely get an understanding of kind of the types of situation that the child could be in. And then that means, you know, when the child does come to them and talks about something that they've experienced, they're going to have a better understanding and, you know, be able to give better advice.
Okay, there you go. You heard it from Stampy himself. And you're going to be doing plenty more for us on our Facebook site as well. So a bit more advice and a bit more information for anyone who's concerned about these changes.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to meet you. And
well, we are joined now by Ricky and Joe Garrett, also known as Stampy Cat. Now, by Ricky and Joe Garrett, also known as Stampy Cat, whose Minecraft YouTube videos are viewed by millions around the world. And you're so popular. Not many people get to come on the breakfast sofa twice in a day. Really interesting report. I mean, what I love about when we get you on the sofa is you're always good on advice for parents. So watching that, what are the sort of key things to think about with this update in mind?
So I think it's important to say that Minecraft can be a really fun game. And the reason why it's so popular is because children really have no rules. They can create whatever they want in this world. But I think one of the most important things to say to parents is that you don't just let your child play on their own all the time. You can play together, and then by playing together, you have a better understanding about the settings that they've got in place to make sure that they are staying safe. And also you're having that fun together, so it doesn't feel like they're just on their own, getting on with it, talking to strangers, that they are having more of a conversation and it becomes more of a pleasant experience for everyone.
And Stampy, what the change, as far as I understand it, means that there will be you'll be able to connect, as it were, with many, many more people. Are there concerns, genuine concerns, do you think, from a sort of parental point of view about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just bringing all of the versions together. So it's not a huge change in the fact that, you know, you could already play online and play with thousands of people. The big change is the fact that now you're going to be able to do that on consoles, where originally they had kind of been a little bit more locked off and separated. But also in the update, they are adding a whole bunch of new security features to the game and safety features. For example, now, no matter what device you're on this version, you have to sign into Xbox Live, which means you have, you know, an account and you can block a particular person, whereas before you could kind of go on a little bit anonymously. And one of the things that I've been struggling with is people would join on a server and they'd put their name the same as my username and dress up like me, and people would tweet me saying, I had great fun playing with you today, and I'd be like, but I wasn't playing today. You know, they could have said anything to them, but that is something that, you know, they aren't going to be able to do in the future.
And the language used sometimes on these games isn't very simple. So if you don't know your realms from your servers, you're not going to know necessarily how to change some of these settings. Louise, you're looking a bit confused.
Yes.
But that's the whole point, you know, unless you have an understanding of how the games work. And it's very difficult to know what your kids are up to.
Loads of questions coming in for you, Stampy. And I think what's interesting on this is we're talking about Minecraft, but there's lots of sort of general concerns which work across all sorts of games. Rosie says, what's the best thing to do when someone is bullying you online? How do you keep yourself safe from cyberbullying? Well, I mean, general rules for that sort of thing would be really handy.
So a great thing to do is immediately just take a screenshot of it. Even if you just get your phone, take a picture of the screen, and then you kind of have it on record. You know, pretty much any device you're playing on, you can block the person. As I said, in this new update, that's going to be easier. And tell someone. I think a big thing is there's a difference, I think, between someone or a group of people targeting one person, especially if it's someone that you know in real life, compared to what's kind of considered general internet trolling, where people kind of just have fun being mean. Like specifically in Minecraft, if someone's built a house, someone might go and pour lava on it, and it's not necessarily, I mean, it's not nice, but it's not a personal attack on that person. It's just something that, you know, people do online, and I think there is a difference.
And Minecraft do have ways in which you can report people, and they look into it. You know, they do have a great team that will explore your problem.
And the other thing is, we just talked a little bit about it earlier, Stampy, can people impersonate a child, for example, in this?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way, when you see the characters in the game, you just see the character and then a username above them. You know, you have no idea who is, you know, behind the person controlling it. And
that could be the same in any other game, couldn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the thing with Minecraft is just that it's just so big and there's just so many servers, and because, you know, in exception from Realms, which are kind of official private servers run by Microsoft, the servers aren't, you know, generally official. You know, anyone can set up a server. You type in an IP address and you log on, and they're generally run by individuals or private companies. And up until now, the onus has really been completely on the server owners to moderate the server.
And it's not just Minecraft. We've heard stories at Newsround as well of kids who've had problems on Roblox, which is another big game that lots of young kids are playing, being bullied on there or having bad experiences.
I've got one more question for you, because I know because of who you are and how many followers you have, people are far more likely to listen to you than they probably would to their parents. So, Carla said,
stay in school.
Eat your green. If someone were to meet an internet friend, what would be the safest environment to do so, and what precautions should you take?
Good question.
So, I mean...
That's from Carla, by the way.
I think that if you're ever considering to meet up with someone in real life that you've only known online, do it with your parents and do it in a public place, because... as we've kind of talked about, you don't know who's behind the keyboard on the other end, especially if you've never spoke to them or done a video chat with them. I think that is going to be something where you need both parents on either side communicating to kind of arrange it that way, just to make sure the person you think you're talking to is the person you're talking to.
Most excellent advice.
And everyone in the office has tried to get selfies today with Stampy. So he is being bombarded with your team this morning.
The catchphrase has been, I never do this, but...
And to be honest, they don't. Thank you both.
Great to have you both on.
Thank you very much indeed.